been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
Hope everyone is staying safe in this quarantine times.
Back at it.
We are back at it. Had some sports. Saturday night was it? I think with UFC 249. But got a lot of stuff to get into. But we're finally back. You were on vacation. You know, we could talk about that for a little bit. Are you gonna talk about it?
Yeah. We went to Colorado. Had a really good time. You know, the coronavirus. Seriously, it is no joke. But if you're cautious and you're prepared, I say go on vacation, do things, you know, as long as you're safe with it. The airports were dead, absolutely dead.
Did you want to keep that a secret? Or are we going to talk about it?
No, we can talk about it.
Okay, just wanted to...
The airports were actually absolutely dead. Airlines, you know, they took care of you. You know, it's so weird, though. Like, you have to scan your own luggage now. You have to scan your own tickets to get on the plane now. They won't touch anything of yours.
Well, it's like when you go through drive-thrus now, too. They actually put the card reader out to you, and you have to do it now.
Yeah, but you literally had to take your own bag and put it on the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good to get away. I mean, to go to Colorado and just hike every day up in the mountains.
Get away from the madness.
It was a lot of fun. It really was, and I'm glad that we got to do it. We just celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary, my wife and I, and we planned this trip way back before this even got bad. Once this thing started, airline tickets were like the first thing to fall, so we jumped on the deal and just thought about it, prayed about it, and had a great time. Got to meet Stacy Vega, as you see, we're wearing her merch, Fight to Live. Boom, got her those things here.
We had Stacy Vega on probably a couple months ago, and it was a blast. And I'm happy you got to meet her. I got to see her a little bit through video chat because I unfortunately didn't go. I stayed here with dogs. You know, we had a diabetic dog.
But sitting there and talking with her and just chatting, not like podcast chat, just like
talking life.
It is amazing. It's amazing how these people, like, she is humble. Her family was awesome to meet. They have children. And you look at this person who in a blink of an eye can turn it on. And I even brought that up to her attention. Like, how do you do that? You know, how do you get into a ring with somebody that you're talking to, you're cool with, and boom, just like that, you're ready to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And as soon as the match is over, boom, you turn it back off again. And
just practice, I guess.
It takes a certain person to do it.
That is cool though. That was the first athlete that we've ever gotten to actually meet in person that we've had on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I got pictures with her and stuff, and Mom got to meet her, and it was a joy. And she could talk all day, and there's nothing that she loves Ronda Rousey, you know, and there's nothing that she wouldn't talk about.
That's awesome. Yeah, if you follow us on our Instagram page for Everything Goes, we do have a photo of that up. You can check that out there and just see everything else we posted. But that's awesome. That's really cool that you had the chance to meet her, and thank you, Kelsey, for hooking that up with us.
But we're definitely going to have her on the podcast again because there's a lot to talk about. But Colorado itself, I tell you what, the whole elevation thing, it's true. I mean, Noah and I, we went on a few hikes. Mom and I went on a few hikes together too. And when you get to a certain elevation, your legs feel heavy.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't want to function right. And we went on Facebook Live a few times. And around here, you have like garden snakes. You know, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't, you know, maybe bear every now and then. But when you see signs for how to protect yourself from a mountain lion and rattlesnakes and bears, you know, it starts to sink in that you're up in an elevation where you're just so tired and beat that if something happens, like, do you even have the strength to fight something off?
And it's like, how far would help even be? You know what I mean? And I remember you guys called me, and the first thing I asked you was like, you know, do you guys have a stick or a knife or anything to defend you? No, just got our backpacks here. And I would have been like, you know, cutting up a steak or something just to have on me.
Yeah. But Noah and I were coming down Arthur's Rock, and we saw these two people in camouflage, and they had a shotgun. And at first, I was kind of like, what the hell's going on? You know, we hear there was turkey season, so they're allowed to hunt right on the trails.
Yeah.
You know,
That's actually kind of a weird rule.
so we're talking to them, and it's funny because we were talking about the mountain lions and everything, and he's like, yeah, wherever there's deer, there's usually mountain lion. And on the way up, we got photo of like 5 or 6 deer that were right below us, about maybe
remember the
20,
photos, yeah.
20, 30 yards away, and we're taking photos of them.
Yeah.
And just to think that something could have been lurking. And then it gets to you after a while because you're walking through the woods, and everything you hear, it's like, is that it? Is
Yeah,
that one of them?
Because around here, when you hear something in the woods, you know, oh, it's a squirrel, it's a chipmunk.
Yeah.
When you're over there, that could be a bear, that could be a baby cub, that could be
Yeah.
a lion.
And not to mention, you're not going to see a lion. Like a
No,
mountain lion
no,
is
yeah.
going to stalk you.
And you won't
By
know
the time
until-
you
yep.
see it, it's too late. And I keep recording my nose. It's not coronavirus. I have an allergies. But it gets to you, and it starts playing tricks with you because a mountain lion is going to like stalk you.
Yeah.
And when it comes out, it's going to be too late. You're gonna,
And they go for the neck.
Yeah. And in March, I think we were on the South Ridge. We were either on the South Ridge or North Ridge. But in March, there was an attack.
Mm-hmm.
A mountain lion, a 91-pound mountain lion. Some guy was talking to a UPS person by his house, and out of the corner of the UPS guy's eye, he looks and sees this thing running, charging.
Yeah.
It jumps at the guy. He puts his arms up to block it. It rips every tendon in his shoulder. It bites the crap out of him.
That's crazy. And their teeth are big.
And then a sheriff lady came. She showed up. The mountain lion grabbed her, shook the hell out of her.
Why didn't she shoot?
But the thing is the mountain lion ended up having rabies.
Dang.
So they both survived with cuts and everything, but now they have to go through a series of rabies shots. But I mean that you don't think about that stuff. And the last time we were out there at Horsetooth, they had that guy that was hiking on a trail on Horsetooth, I think by the falls or by Horsetooth Rock, and he ended up killing a mountain lion because it attacked him.
That's crazy. I think I'd rather face a mountain lion than a bear, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, a bear, man, they're not... I feel like, as with a mountain lion, you know, they'll at least go for your neck eventually, so it will end. The bear, you know, the bear's going to rip you apart, going to shake you around, going to throw you down.
Yeah.
It's going to come back.
Well, it was funny because, like, the one trail, the last hike we did was the day before we left. We did Horsetooth Rock, which was, I think it's like 75, it's like 7440, something like that when you get to the top. I just rounded up to 7,500 feet. But we got up there so far, and like there was this cross that was put up there by somebody. Here, somebody fell off back in the 80s and died.
Jeez.
And everyone's putting rocks on as, like, you know, just to pay tribute. So Noah and I did it. So we get up there, and we're going around this bend. And all of a sudden, there's like a cave, and I'm looking at the cave. And now this cave is about, I don't know, maybe 30 yards away.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but it's elevated. It's higher than the trail.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking up at it. And it's a decent-sized cave. Not something that we could stand up and walk in.
You can make shelter in.
But I'm not dumb. I start getting this strong stench of cat urine.
Yeah.
And you know, cats, especially the wild ones around here, they're always marking their territory on the bushes and stuff, and you know what that smell is.
And you know it gets stronger when you get towards their den.
So I call Noah back. Noah's a little bit ahead from me. I go, hey, come here. I just want to verify this. So I'm like, you smell anything? And he kind of plays dumb at first. He's like, yeah, kind of, mm-hmm. But he's like, not thinking about it. I say, you know what that is, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, you know what that means, right? He goes, no. I go, they're marking their territory. If I was down in elevation, maybe I would have threw rocks up inside there to see what would happen.
That's stupid.
But we were so high up, and I was so exhausted to that point where I was like, it's not worth it. So we made sure when we came back down, we didn't go past that way. We took the mountain bike trail down.
Yeah.
But
Well, you hear a lot of stories of mountain bike riders, too. I remember watching on TV where they'll just ride it, and then they just get attacked.
well, Noah showed me 2 videos yesterday. I'm not sure if they were from Colorado or not, but the one was this guy and his buddy were hiking on a trail, and they just went around a sharp turn, and they just happened to look up, and there's a mountain lion just looking down at them. Not making the noise, not doing anything.
I'd slowly walk away.
Yeah, but the video ends. It doesn't show what they did, but at that point, what do? You
I'd
know,
slow-
do you make yourself big? I mean, my thing is I'm going to throw rocks at it, try to scare it away.
I think what I would do is if I had a weapon, like if I had a stick or something, I would walk backwards almost the whole way. Like I'd have my buddy walk forward, I walk back so I can see if the thing's coming for us.
Yeah.
You can't, because you can't just look away.
Like, what if you bluff charge at it, make yourself real big, make noise, and the thing charges you anyway?
Dude, I don't know. I think I'd rather see it charge than me than have it sneak attack me.
Yeah. But overall, it was a great trip. The weather was great. The only thing that sucks is flying in Colorado. I hate flying. I hate leaving Colorado.
Yeah, I hate flying too.
Because you take off right towards the mountains, and just the plane rocks. And I don't like that crap. I think if I could have bent steel with my hands, I would have easily. I was grabbing the chair so hard.
I remember when we flew back from Colorado, was it last year or 2 years ago, when we dropped for 5 seconds. That ruined me.
But we're going back. We're looking to go back in either August or September. I want to do it again. I love it. There's a couple other mountains I want to climb. There's one called, I think it's Twin Sister Peaks. It's in Estes Park. I think it goes up to like 11,000 feet.
I'd want to get like, I don't know, like something about hiking somewhere where you know there's rattlesnakes and stuff. I'd want to get those snake boots. It's almost like catcher shin guards that you can wear in case you're walking through like the brush or whatever, that if a snake would bite you, at least you'd have something to protect you from.
The coolest thing that we did see, though, is we were at Coyote Ridge hiking, and the prairie dogs, they're everywhere.
Yeah, I saw
and
photos.
they chirp at you and make noises at you, and the one went down in his hole, so we walked up to the hole and looked, and it got real loud at us. It was gurgling, but we had a lot of fun.
I think that's the only scary thing, though, is if you get injured and you're already so high up, by the time help gets to you or you get down to get help, or even if you have a signal to call for help, anything could happen.
Yeah.
So that scares me.
And the nice thing was, too, is we were up in Fort Collins, so we weren't near Denver, and Fort Collins only has like 200 cases of the coronavirus, I believe, now. So, out there, they're not. I mean, it's not that they're not worried about it.
I wanted to ask: were you guys able to go into where stores closed there at the time?
No, everything was open.
Like even restaurants and stuff?
you can do takeout.
Yeah.
All the other stores were like open. You can go in them. But when we got there,
Did you have to wear a mask?
When we first got there, you didn't have to. But I think it was the 4th, which was I think Monday the 4th.
Now, did you wear a mask? Like, did it feel weird not wearing a mask?
I didn't. When I first got there, I didn't wear a mask. But then by the 4th, they made it mandatory that any store you went into, you had to wear one.
Yeah.
So then we did wear them. But at that point, we're so used to it because we've been doing it here.
Mm-hmm.
But
I thought the other day with Noah, because we go out once in a while, and a lot of these stores that you can go into, you wear a mask. And I thought, for kids, this must be completely weird. They're so used to being able to play.
yeah.
They don't really comprehend what's going on. And now they're like, here, you got to put this mask on when we go in. And they probably have no idea what's going on. And they'll remember this growing up. But I just think it's wild how, like, you drive up to a store and it could be a beautiful day out. And then you get to the store, it's like, oh, got to put the mask on now. Everyone else has the mask on. It just looks like a scene out of a movie. I know we say that a lot, but...
But my whole thing of this is we've all been locked up for how long?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a vacation planned, you could still go and enjoy yourself. You really can, as long as you're safe and you do the things you got to do. Now you have to wear masks on planes. They're not serving drinks or snacks or anything. So basically, you're just getting on it. You're sitting in your seat. You're getting off of it and doing your thing. But as long as you use hand sanitizer and you take care of yourself, I mean, I don't think I heard anyone cough on the plane at all.
I mean, I don't think I'd want to cough on the plane.
Yeah.
With people pulling guns out and stuff. I just think it's crazy to think, when will this end? As long as we've been on quarantine, and then you have the states getting the power to slowly open up, and then there's states that start to slowly open up and their numbers rise again. It's like, when will we be able to just, even if it's like open everything up, but we can wear masks, like just go out back to our normal lives.
Yeah, I mean, people are getting sick of it. You see stores that are going against the governor's orders.
What's funny is I've actually just the other day was talking with someone, and there's a lot of small businesses that are at this point, they're willing to risk it because they can't afford it anymore.
Well, the governor of Pennsylvania is threatening to take away liquor licenses, the whole 9 yards, to punish people, especially in the areas that we're in. We're in one of the worst areas. We're on the east side of Pennsylvania. So, like, some of the counties are going into a yellow phase, which is the next phase. It's going to take some of the stuff away. But we're unfortunately in the red, and we don't know how long we'll go. Right now, it's till June 4th.
Yeah.
People are getting fed up.
It is. I'll be honest. It is annoying.
I
understand why we're doing it, but it sucks.
I mean, you go to grocery stores. There's lines to get into the grocery stores. They're only allowing so many people in. But this could be the new norm. There's already reports in China and over in Korea of a second wave.
Yeah.
There's a report of one person went clubbing and spread it to 80 people in Korea. Now you see what's happening to the kids in California, and I guess in New York, where they have, I guess they're showing signs of the antibody that they had it, but now it's like their body's fighting off things now, and it's causing other problems.
Yeah. I feel like I almost won it at this point, just to get it over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to know that I had it, and I could be like, okay, like
I mean, for all we know, we did.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
for all you know, I did. I don't
There's
know.
so many people out there that get it. They're just a carrier. They don't have any symptoms.
And the test, man, that Q-tip looking thing they stick up your nose, all up to your eye. Like, just let me stay at home. I'm not taking that test. Just tell me that I might have the coronavirus, and I'll just give me some medicine, and I'll just work it out. But I am not getting that thing shoved up my nose.
No,
I couldn't.
I don't want it. I've seen too many videos of it, and I don't want nothing to do with that. But the good thing of this all is we are getting a little bit of normalcy back with sports. We had our first live event, UFC. It actually went off pretty well. I mean,
a lot of people watched it too. UFC 249, I believe it was.
They made a killing probably off of the price of the ESPN Plus, but it was neat. There was actually no crowd,
which was very, very hard to watch with no crowd because you hear every punch.
Well, you heard what Greg Hardy said. He actually heard the commentator, Daniel Kimura.
Give him advice.
He was talking to Joe Rogan and them, but he was actually listening to what he was saying and actually changed what he was doing in the ring.
Which is kind of cool.
I thought it was amazing, though, that the sound effects that you heard, you know,
when you see someone's
coaches.
when you see someone's leg kick, though, it's different because you hear the bone and touch, and it's just... It's tough to watch. I think they took great precautions for this. All the trainers are wearing masks, though obviously the fighters aren't. But you got tested before the fight. Some people actually got taken out of the fight because they ended up testing positive for the coronavirus. But I think this was
one fighter and two of his coaches.
I think that this was a huge step for sports. That you can see that you can do this without fans. You know how many people probably watch that? A lot.
Well, they're already saying that they have another pay-per-view coming up, and they're going to have a fight on an island. And they're saying it could be Khabib and Gaethje.
I know McGregor wants to get into. I don't know if he's going to, but I know he wants to fight too, which would be awesome. There's rumors about him and Diaz having the trilogy, which would be amazing.
I don't think you want to put him and Khabib on the same island together. Not now. And Gaethje at the same time. There's too much conflict.
I don't really want to see him fight Khabib yet. I'd love for the trilogy, honestly, to see who's got it all. What's crazy, the UFC fight, you know, even the prelims that started at like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock each time, those were good fights. That whole card, I mean, some of the fighters that were outside of the main card, it's like, those are fighters that were able to be on the main card.
Pettis and Cowboy, that was a great fight.
That was. I don't know. I think Pettis' fighting style lately is just like, I feel like he gets beat up and somehow wins.
I
thought he poked him in the eye. I thought Cowboy got poked in the eye.
He did.
And then Pettis took advantage of that and got some punches in.
I'm actually surprised that Pettis won that fight, and I think he was surprised too. I don't think he won that fight. I think Cowboy took it to him. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong. But I think overall, I think Cowboy should have won that.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
I'm trying to look up the name, if I can find that guy that tested positive, but I can't find it. No, I can't.
Oh, it's okay.
And then you had the heavyweights that were freaking amazing.
Oh, you had
that Ngannou.
Yeah.
It's just
it was
a beast.
20-second knockout.
He reminds me of Mike Tyson. Like if you can go like 20 seconds with him and hold your own, but he comes out swinging like a madman.
What's his name? Cormier or whatever his name is. He said that he wasn't that good of a fighter, and it's almost like leaning towards like, are you challenging him to fight? Because I think someone was like, you should be scared of him, and he was like, I'm not scared of him at all.
Cormier couldn't beat him. I don't think it's two different styles. Unless Cormier can get him to the ground, he's a ground fighter.
But you saw like he missed 5 punches, and then the one lands, which does knock you out. So I mean, I think he's not that great of a fighter, but just knowing that if one punch lands, it will knock you out.
He's a power puncher, and every single one of those punches could have killed you.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, the person that really I was intrigued with watching, Tony Ferguson. That guy is a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, he took a pounding. He has a chin made of bricks. I mean, he did not go down. He didn't even look like he was hurt. I mean, they stopped the fight, and I think it was the right thing to do because I think Gaethje was going to end up killing him.
Yeah.
But he had damage to his orbital bone, and it's just he's a real humble guy. Afterwards, you know, he wasn't arrogant, he wasn't cocky. You know, he got beat, But they
There's,
should.
there's just some guys, man, that they don't go down.
He made $500,000 plus there was also a fight bonus of I think $100,000 for that fight.
I said I'd happily go
Less
in a
than
ring.
25 minutes. He got 500 plus
I'd happily
thousand.
go in a ring and get beat
Not
up
me.
for some money.
Nah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Because I mean, you can block some of it. I mean, obviously you're gonna get beat, but hey, like
I'd run around.
$500,000, that's life changing.
I'd run around for a while.
There was that one fight though in the prelims where that whole guy's eye shut up, like completely closed, and it was disgusting looking. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was.
they enlarged the image, and his whole eye like looked like it was shot. Like it was terrible.
Yeah.
That's what would scare me as a fighter.
I think that was in the prelim.
Yeah, that would scare me as a fighter. Going back in the locker room and seeing your eye and you couldn't even open it. Like,
I think the just to the point where your eyes swollen shut and you couldn't see no more. You couldn't see another punch coming from that side. I'd be like, I tap. I'd just lay down, tap the mat. I'm done. Couldn't do it.
dude, that's scary. See, like if I have a chance to lose an eye, that's where I kind of draw the line. Like if my eye completely closed, I'm thinking about throwing the towel in, because let's be real, when you're a fighter, if you see someone's injured, you're aiming for that injured spot.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. And that's the other side of me. That I couldn't hit somebody like that. Like if I saw their eyes completely shut, I couldn't take advantage of it. I just couldn't. I couldn't do that personally.
And then I think the shocker was Henry Cejudo beating Dominic Cruz and then retiring in the ring as a champion.
Really?
Yeah,
I
said he's done.
I don't think Dominic Cruz is that good anymore.
Nah, he hasn't fought in, I think 2 years since he thought he lost. I think who did he lose to? Cody Gerhardt?
Cody beat him up pretty good.
Cody, it shocks me that he didn't turn out well. But he has a weird style. He does that whole figure eight thing with his feet.
And he does that weird thing where he throws over the top of his head, doesn't
Yeah.
he? I don't
And
know.
I was kind of, a part of me was like, they did the referee, because he's criticizing referee now, saying they smelled like cigarettes and alcohol, and they stopped the fight too soon. But my thing is he took that knee to the face, fell to the mat, was punched to like 11 times in the face, not really protecting himself. And then, is there a chance he was standing up? Yeah. But in an instant like that, where the referee has to make a quick decision, I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, and I think as a fighter, you gotta think referee has a hard decision.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you have probably 5 to 10 seconds to think, is this guy in this state where I could possibly have this guy kill him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think like that's a tough decision. If this guy gets the knee to the face and he looks like he's about to get whooped, you should thank him. As much as you want to win, like you could have got permanent damage done to your body, or even lost your sight or anything like that. Got a concussion, lost some memory. There's a lot that goes into that referee's decision in a 5-second window. You know what I mean?
I could see like if Dominic was like bringing his hands up and blocking his face and doing something, but he wasn't. That knee he took was it.
Yeah.
He didn't look the same. He looked out on his feet, and
You can always tell when a fighter, they get that wobbly feet, and I hate when I would watch McGregor in a big match, and that one punch lands, and it's like a whole different person. They're wobbling their feet, their hands are kind of lower, and you're like, yeah, here we go. He's about to lose. He's about to get his butt whooped.
I don't know what Dominic Cruz is going to do, though. I think that's going to be the end of him. That whole division is going to be wide open now, because if Cicado just is definitely walking away, the belts are up for grabs now.
Yeah. Well, the new NFL NFL schedule came out the other day, and we didn't get to talk about that. And New Orleans opens up against Tom Brady and the new Buccaneers in the Dome week 1, which if there's no fans, it's not going to be as hype for me. If there's fans allowed, it will be amazing for me.
I don't think there's going to be fans.
I don't think so either, which is going to suck because I think the Dome rocks with fans. But the new schedule's out. There's Dallas doesn't have many primetime games, I don't think.
No.
It's a little what's the word I'm looking for? I guess frustrating when I get it. The Buccaneers, they have Tom Brady, they have Gronk. Let's put them on the primetime games. But like Kansas City, who won the Super Bowl, I believe they only have like one primetime game. And that's where I kind of think like I get it. Buccaneers have all these players, it's going to sell money, people are going to watch. But I feel like Kansas City deserves that at least 3. They're Super Bowl champions, and to have them cut out like that, I think the Colts too only have like one who got Phillip Rivers and these other players, but I think it should go about how you performed last year, not about who you picked up. But I get it though. I get it. It's a money thing, it's a business, you want to get ratings and views, but that kind of irked me seeing that the Buccaneers had a couple more than more people.
Well, the schedule actually, I'm surprised they actually released it because of the coronavirus. We're not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Are they going to play with no fans? Are they going to, like, you're going to have teams that aren't going to be able to go to camp. Like, what are they going to do? And if you can't open up every team's camp, how can you start a season? That's going to be the thing. Like, are you going to move teams like Philadelphia, maybe the Steelers? I'm not sure how bad it is on that side of Pennsylvania, but definitely the Philadelphia Eagles. Where are they going to go for practice? Where are they going to go to play their games?
I think it is smart though to release the schedule and say, as of now, this is going to be the schedule. That way you can adjust. Because I think if you hold it back and you're like, we're thinking of a plan in case everything goes haywire, at least now you're like, okay, this is what's going to happen if we can play, whether with or without fans. And if we have to change it, then we can dive into it and change it. But the Saints also, so they open up against Tampa Bay, week 1, huge game, because Tom Brady, obviously a new team, everyone's going to hype him up and say, can he win without Belichick? But then they go to the new L.A. Raiders in the new stadium. So 2 cool games for the Saints right off the bat, and then they play Minnesota on Christmas. So I'm pumped about that.
Well, Dallas gets to open up the Rams' new stadium.
That should be a pretty stadium, though.
That's a Sunday night game, 8:20. It's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be a great game. I mean, who knows? Is football gonna be even worth watching with no crowd? I mean, no fan interacting and everything. It's gonna be a different beast. We're like, watching UFC. It's just 2 guys pounding each other. But like football, you get a big play, the crowd roars. Mm-hmm. Is it gonna be like, whatever? I can watch the highlights.
It's gonna be weird too, because like, how do the players feed off of that? You know how like some teams will feed off the crowd, and like you'll get momentum and turn the game around. I mean, there's no fans now. You know what I mean?
Maybe the NFL dips into what the XFL did, and you can hear the coaches and you can do interviews with the players during the game and everything like that. Just you got to do something, but. I looked at the Cowboys' schedule, and I know Noah was like, "Man, he was surprised I said it," but I think the Cowboys can go easily 13-3.
So I'm not being biased here. Saints actually have a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons actually, their last 7 weeks out of those 7, 4 of them are against the Saints and the Buccaneers. So that really is challenging for Atlanta, because if you're struggling or if you're winning, you have to play Tom Brady twice at the end of the season. And you have to play New Orleans twice at the end of the season. And typically towards the end of the season is when you can tell if a team's going to be hot or not. That's a challenge for them, man. Played 2 good quarterbacks who are going to be Hall of Famers right in the back of the season.
I think the division is going to come down to the Cowboys and the Eagles again in the East. I really do. I think it's going to be like last year. It's going to come down.
Don't sleep on the Giants.
It's going to come down to the Giants still don't have a defense. I mean, I think they're going to be better. But I think it's going to come down to the Cowboys and Eagles head-to-head again, just like it did last year. But I can see the Cowboys. I mean, I can see them beating the Rams. The Rams aren't the same team. They lost a lot of offensive weapons. I can see them beating Atlanta week 2, even though Atlanta went 5-2 to end their season. I still think the Cowboys can beat Atlanta. It's in Texas, so it's their first home game.
I never was one that could sit here and predict. I never understood, like, how like ESPN analysts will come out and predict your records and everything. I think going into a season, you can't say this team was good last year, this is how they're going to be next year. Like the Saints were good last year, okay? I want to say here as a fan that they're going to be good again, but I don't know that.
But see, I think week 3 Dallas goes to Seattle. I can see them beating the Seahawks, because last year, if you look at it, the Seahawks went 9-1 in 1-score games. Can they do that again? I don't know. I doubt it.
Who knows if Dak will even be there for Dallas, if it will be Andy Dalton or not.
Okay, either way, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
And then we go to Cleveland. Oh, we know we play Cleveland at home. So I can see us either being 4-0, 3-1. Then we scroll down to week 5. Got the Giants. That's a win.
Never know. I mean, you lost the Giants 2 years ago when Terrence Williams had 7 bounds.
I'll say we lose in Seattle, so that's 5-1. So then we go down. We got Arizona in Texas.
You never know. Wait, what? Arizona in Texas?
Yeah, we play Arizona in Texas. Dallas.
Oh, okay.
I say we're gonna win that game.
You never know. Hopkins.
Larry
Still Fitzgerald.
This is just my prediction.
Kyle Murray.
And then we go to Washington. Washington week 7.
Good defense.
6-1.
Good defense.
Then we scroll down. We got Philadelphia in Philly.
Nice.
I say we lose that game. I say right there.
For some reason, it's tough to play in
I say
Philly.
we're 6-2. 6-2 in that game. And then after that, we get Pittsburgh. Big W. Big W.
I think
in
Pittsburgh
Texas.
is a big question mark because they have a good defense, and you don't know how Big Ben's going to play this year. If he
okay.
comes out playing well, that team's tough.
If he's around. Okay, 7-2. Dallas.
Okay.
7-2. Then after we play Big Ben, we go to we play Minnesota in Minnesota. That's a loss. Okay, I see us losing that game. Okay?
I could see Dallas beat Minnesota, but I just think, I don't know.
So 8-3. Okay. Then we scroll on down here. We get next after that. Oh God, we go to Baltimore.
That's a loss. I don't think Dallas' defense will handle him.
I don't know. I'm gonna say, and that's a Thursday night game.
They got
I'm
good
gonna okay.
defense.
So
You
it's
guys
not
will lose that
13-3.
game. You guys
We're
will lose that game.
12-4. We're gonna lose that game. So 12-4. So Minnesota.
I could
in
see that.
Minnesota,
I
and
could
then
s-
we go to Baltimore.
I could see that being a good game, though, if
Yeah.
you have Dak.
Then after that, we get a bounce back game. Damn, we go from Minnesota to Baltimore to Cincinnati. So we're on the road for 3 games in a row.
Joe Burrow upsets Dallas and gets a win.
No, Cincinnati. We're going to Cincinnati. We're going to beat them. Joe Mixon's going to hold out because he wants more money. So
For 7 weeks?
he's going to hold out. He ain't going to play.
I mean, they're talking about they want to give him an extension before the season starts, though.
Then we bounce back and we come home and we get the
When's your bye?
we get the late November. We get the 49ers.
That's a tough game. I say you win that at
I
home.
say we win that game. So we get the 49ers. We beat them. After that, we're done. Hey, am I missing a game? Yep, I'm not missing a game. Yeah, I can see us 12-4. 12-4, and I can live with that. I can live with that projection. I don't care. We go 12-4. Eagles go 11-5. We win a division.
That's not bad. You want me to predict my schedule now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so week 1, you got Tom Brady and his new hot offense coming in New Orleans and gets a sad L against New Orleans at home with no fans. I'm going to call it no fans. Tom Brady's going to get his
There's not
first.
going to be any fans.
Tom Brady's going to get his first loss in the Dome, and then he's going to go on and win, all right? Then the Saints are going to go to the Raiders and upset them in their new home opener and their new stadium. They're going to go 2-0. They're going to blow out Derek Carr and their wannabe team, which I hope they do good. Then we get the Packers that come into the Dome. All right, Saints are 2-0 at this point. I don't know. It depends if Aaron Rodgers shows up or not. But I've never seen the Packers beat the Saints at home yet. So I'm going to say it. I'm going to be strong with it. Saints are 3-0 at this point.
Speak your mind.
They're 3-0. I'm feeling it. They got Emmanuel
Speak your
Sanders.
mind.
They got a good offense. They got a good defense with Jenkins, and they got a good offensive line. We go into Detroit. Come on, it's the Lions. You think Matt Stafford's going to beat our defense? No, Saints are rolling at 4-0 right now. We go into the Chargers. You think Tyrod Taylor or their rookie quarterback is going to beat Drew Brees in his defense? Saints are 5-0 right now. Rolling into Carolina with a reunion versus Teddy Bridgewater. Saints are currently 5-0 and they're at home.
Carolina's going to win 2 games this year.
Saints beat Carolina
I give you that.
6-0. We're rolling into the cold Chicago on November 1st, 4 o'clock game.
Drew Brees gets hurt.
Now it depends here. Is Nick Foles playing? Is Trubisky playing? It doesn't matter. Saints 7-0 right now. My books. Here we go. This is where we got our first loss. We go into Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's on a hot streak right now. We lose. We're 7-1. Come back to the Dome, play the 49ers redemption game. We have Emmanuel Sanders on our side now. They lost some defensive players. Saints are 8-1. Go in home again against Atlanta Falcons. Todd Gurley's, of course, injured at this point. Marshawn Lattimore is going to shut down Julio Jones. Saints are 9-1 right now. All right. Go into Denver. End of November. Drew
Tough
Lock.
game in Denver.
Drew Lock is
All
rolling
those
with
weapons
these,
they have
with these
now.
weapons. That's a tough one. 9-1, but it's New Orleans. We're 10-0 at this
The only
point.
thing
10-1.
the only thing about Denver is their defense isn't the same.
No.
They're-
Well, they lost a lot of defensive players
Yeah.
too.
They have
Von
a lot of
Miller-
offensive weapons.
They do. I think Denver is going to be like a 7-9 team.
When's that game? In December?
No, November. Late November,
That's
though.
going to be a tough game, man. It could be cold.
It could.
Snow.
It could, but I'm saying the Saints are going to win this. It's 11-1.
Okay.
We're going to roll into Atlanta, and we're going to lose. We always lose at least once to Atlanta, so we're 11-2 at this point. Rolling into Philly. Going to shut all those Phillies fans up and win. 12-2 right now. This is going to be a good game that I can't wait to watch. We're going to play at home versus the Chiefs. As much as I want to hype this up, I could see this going either way, but just for the heck of it,
It's going to be a shootout.
yeah, it will. It will be. I'll just give us an L for this one because I don't know how that one's going to lean. What am I at 12-3 right now?
I think you guys are going to have a better, improved defense.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're 12. I think 12-3, right? Did I say 12-3?
Yeah.
Then we play the Vikings at home and Carolina on the road. We went out.
Here's my projections for the season, okay?
Now, this is if Drew Brees stays healthy.
Number 1, Dak Prescott doesn't sign with the Cowboys, sits out the whole season. Andy Dalton takes the reins.
Gets a Super Bowl, first ever Super Bowl. Could you imagine that?
My second projection is
Red Rocket coming into D-Town Dallas and winning a Super Bowl. Could you imagine?
Drew Brees doesn't finish the season.
Jameis Winston wins the
Winston comes in, throws 25 touchdowns, 4 picks.
That'd be pretty cool.
My third projection?
Before we get into that, real quick,
Tom Brady wins that division.
I don't know who's going to win that division. This is why I think Tampa Bay, I don't know about the running back situation. The Saints, I think, are set to win. I think this is why you saw them cut Larry Warford. They drafted a center in the first round. They're going to move him over. They have cap space right now where they can go out and either re-sign Eli Apple, who didn't get signed yet.
See, I hope Dallas signs that Warford guy. He only wants $7 million. And if we take him and put him at left guard...
Three years of Saints, 3 Pro Bowls in a row.
Yeah, which I can understand. Why
He's getting older.
But my thing is you put him in where Connor Williams plays and tell Connor Williams, look, you got to win the job.
The Browns are interested in him. So is the
You
Eagles.
put him at left guard with Tyron Smith on that side, that shores up that line.
But
you
listen,
put Connor McGovern and James Loney at their center position.
I think the Saints are going to be smart here. They got a linebacker steal in the draft. They have money now to get that last piece. You got Jenkins in the offseason. You also still got Lattimore and like, all these good players. You got such a good team on defense. And you have the Swiss Army knife in Taysom Hill. You got Murray and Kamara in the backfield. You have Jared Cook, who, when he was healthy with Breeze, at the end of the year was a top 5 tight end. Michael Thomas, you finally got another speed receiver with Emmanuel Sanders, and Traquan Smith can play the slot unless they do like a rookie receiver who I don't really know. And Drew Brees with one of the top 3 offensive lines in the league.
My thing about the Saints, and I said this last year, is hopefully they can get Drew Brees to open up the field and stop with the out routes or the slants or the screen passes. If you get guys where you can open up the field, it's going to make a big difference, especially against the defense. But like the last couple of years, their big plays haven't been big plays. I mean, I remember, 3-4 years ago, God, they were going over the top, burning people. Drew Brees had like freaking 7, 8, 9 touchdowns of 20-plus yards.
The only thing that sucks, the past 2 to 3 years, Ted Ginn injured the past 2 years. Traquan Smith, who was a second-round pick, has been injured the past 2 years. So when you have 4th-string, 5th-string wide receivers going downfield, as a quarterback, I don't think you got to have that trust. Will he catch this ball? Will he run the right route? And I think that's what sucks. Is last year you started to see, though, is we had some healthy receivers for once.
Yeah.
But then Ted Ginn goes down again. Traquan Smith was down almost all year.
See, that's why I'm not worried about Dak. Don't sign. I don't care. You got the Red Rocket. You know, you got all those weapons now.
Listen, Andy Dalton, he can throw.
Pollard, Zeke, Jarwin, CeeDee Lamb.
You got a good offensive line for
Gallup.
him. You got one of the league. We got league's best running back for him.
Super Bowl. I'm excited.
I would if I'm Jerry Jones. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm smiling. You offered Dak $100 million guaranteed, $35 million a year, one of the highest paid NFL players in the league. He hasn't accepted it yet. Don't know why. It's a 1-year difference. Some people say there's some stuff that they're hiding in the contract. But listen, you got Andy Dalton for a steal. Okay, sit back, laugh. If he doesn't sign,
look, I understand. The more I read into it, I understand both sides of it. Look, you only have so much money to spend. You know, you can only do so much. You offered to make him the highest paid quarterback in football.
He's the highest paid player.
You offered him a 5-year deal for $175 million, $109 guaranteed. He said no. He wants a 4-year deal. Now I understand his side of it. He wants a short-term deal so he can get $35 million a year for 4 years, and then when the new TV deal comes out, he can get a new contract for $40+ million a year. I understand it, right? But it sucks because this is probably one of the best teams the Cowboys are going to have on paper, and now you have a quarterback holding out.
My thing too is, listen, Dak Prescott has been a good quarterback so far. He's not elite. He's not a Hall of Fame yet. Who knows if I'm Dak? Who knows if I'll even stay healthy? Yeah. If I'll be a good quarterback? This team is offering you $100 million guaranteed, which most players fight for is guaranteed money. You will be paid the highest NFL player in the league. Sure, you're off 1 year.
And that's not going to last.
No. So, but listen, you're off 1 year, okay? Yeah. I get that. I feel like Dallas has done so much for Dak as far as the contract that now Dak needs to do something. I feel like Dak's constantly changing. And Stephen Jones was interviewed, and I was telling you this before the podcast, and he said, listen, we've done everything we could do for Dak. He needs to do something for us because when you get analytics into this, when your quarterback takes most of your salary cap, you don't win games. Because they said, like they said in the interview, he's trying to spread out like a pie. You want to be able to spend money on other players, and there's a lot of NFL former Cowboys players that are coming out and saying we don't know why. It's crazy for Dak not to take this, so that's why they're kind of speculating. Maybe there's something in this contract that Dallas isn't sharing with us.
Marcus Spears was out. He said that Dak's nuts for not signing.
I mean, who wouldn't take that money?
But then you have T.O. coming out and saying that the Joneses are racist. Because he didn't come out and say, he just said, well, it's basically the proof is there. They signed Tony Romo right away. Why aren't they signing Dak?
I mean, they're offering Dak so much money. Yeah. That's not racist.
But that's not a fair statement by T.O. Because you know what? They've signed D-Law to a big deal. They signed Zeke to a big deal. They signed Jalen Smith.
Tony
they signed
Romo's
Leo
time
Collins.
was different.
It was different money.
People weren't trying to get... people were trying to get money, but not money like Dak's trying to get.
You see, the thing is the Cowboys have been in cap hell for years. Now they're finally in a spot where they only have $2 million in dead cap money. They're in great shape. There's only so much money left. You offered your quarterback to be the top paid player in the NFL. There's nothing more you can do. You broke and you bent and you freaking gave in to D-Law. You gave in to Zeke. You paid Zeke too much money, let's face it. You got to stand firm. Because if you pay him this money, and he's not the best quarterback in the league, first of all.
And that's the thing Dak needs to understand is, I get it. You led the league in passing yards last year, but you, stat-wise, are not the best quarterback in the league.
Oh. And I'm a Cowboys fan. I could say that. No, there's quarterbacks that are better than him.
I like Dak as a quarterback. I do. I think he has the potential to be a really elite quarterback.
I mean, he had several opportunities last year to get us into the playoffs. He didn't do it against the Eagles. We could have beat New England. Our offense was horrible against New England. And you can't blame this all on Dak, but at the same time, a true leader is going to find a way to win.
And I know that players want each other to get paid. But as a leader, Dak Prescott I'm talking about, you have a team who wants to keep you in the organization, offering you 5 years, $35 million a year, $100 million guaranteed, and you don't take that. Number one, your team is loaded right now for a championship run for at least 2 years. I don't know how many defense players you're going to need to resign, but just think of it as that. You have so much swag on this team right now. Why would you not be like, okay, done deal, $100 million guaranteed, $35 million a year, 5 years? I'm locked in here for 5 years. Let's do it. Let's do it because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
he's gonna screw himself where he's just gonna sign the franchise tag, which is $31.5 million. Watch him get injured or he doesn't play well. And now your value drops even more where now you're not even going to get that $100 million. $100 million guaranteed. Sign the contract.
There's 14 other players yet who haven't signed their franchise tag yet. 8 of them, there's 14 guys that have tags. 8 of them didn't sign. 2 of them are in trade talks. So Dak's not the only one that's looking for a lot of money. But when it comes to this, this is just it comes to a point where it's ridiculous, and it's frustrating as a fan. And like I said, I can see both sides of it, but Andy Dalton, he's gonna win.
I think Andy Dalton. If I'm Andy Dalton, I'm nervous because I'm like, if he doesn't sign, if this goes down the way that I'm thinking it's gonna go down, I'm gonna be the starter for this awesome team. I would think.
Kirk Cousins came out and said, if you play the tag right, you can make a lot of money. There's nothing bad about it. He can make $31 million this year. If they tag him again next year, it'll be $39 million. That's $70
Kirk Cousins
million
rode that for,
in 2 years.
I think Kirk Cousins rode that for 3 years, and then he got his
then he went to
huge deal with Minnesota.
All guaranteed. But my biggest fear of this whole thing is there's rumors now that Houston's GM, Bill O'Brien, who is just absolutely insane, is negotiating a contract right now with Deshaun Watson. And they're saying it's going to be between $40 and $42 million a year.
I think Deshaun's better than Dak.
All guaranteed. All guaranteed. Now, he flipped, when he signed Tunsil, he flipped the offensive lineman's money. He's going to flip the freaking quarterback money now. And people are like, you thought Mahomes was going to be the first $40 million guy. For all we know, Mahomes might be the first $50 million guy.
I think the NFLPA and the owners need to get together one day and be like, when is it enough? Yeah. I know that they're making billions of dollars, but when is it? This will never end.
Well, they're expecting a salary cap to go up every year.
Yeah, you're gonna see pretty soon rookies like Tua. Tua just signed a $30 million contract.
Yeah, and I think 19 guaranteed or
19 signing bonus, $30 million guaranteed. Now, could you imagine? Okay, that's a rookie, $30 million. Think about 5 years ago, rookie quarterback first round.
Well, he bought his mom a new Escalade. I saw that.
You think 5 years from now, a rookie first round pick, $40-50 million.
See, Joe Burrow didn't sign his contract yet. He says he's waiting till this coronavirus thing's over.
Why?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
They showed his bedroom in his mom and dad's house. It's all Star Wars themed.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said he's not signing yet.
So, just a crazy fact here that I saw earlier is Phil Simms on Pro Football Talk. He has really good sources that he believes and gets good information every year. That he heard in the 2018 draft when the Browns were on the clock for the first round pick, first overall, when they drafted Baker Mayfield, Seattle picked the phone up and called the Browns and offered Russell Wilson for that first pick overall. He said he heard nothing else after that, but he heard that Seattle offered him that, and then nothing else happened after that. As the Browns GM, Dorsey, at the time, if you got a phone call, now this is when Russell Wilson was going into his 7th year. He obviously didn't get his extension yet.
Yeah.
As a GM, though, you get a phone call from Seattle saying, listen, we're going to offer you Russell Wilson for your first overall pick. Number one, I believe that this would have put such a big chip on Russell Wilson's shoulders. Number two, as a declining franchise who hasn't had success in years, how would you have not accepted that if that was true?
Well, I could see it as a GM, if Russell Wilson was going to be coming in and needed to get extended.
I would extend him right away. I would extend for 10 years.
I mean, it's not that Cleveland doesn't have the money, but...
As a GM, though, answer this. Don't think about it. Right off the top of your head, if you got that phone call, are you giving him that first pick overall for Russell Wilson? Now, just think. They did have two... I think they had 2 first-round picks that year. They had the first and the 4th, I think.
I wouldn't have done it for just Russell Wilson. I would have done it for Russell Wilson and maybe a second-round pick.
I would have did it for Russell Wilson and
because
a
if you
third-round pick.
if you just trade your first-round pick, you're almost guaranteed 2 or 3 picks back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I would say
I don't know if I would
Russell in a third.
Russell in a third, Russell in a second. You know, maybe.
I would have took it, and now if that's real, I would took that instantly, because you think about the Browns at the time. They already had Myles Garrett. They drafted, I believe.
Somebody came out and said Myles Garrett will be going to Seattle.
Yeah, there's a lot of
rumors going on.
Now, I think that was the year they drafted Baker and Denzel Ward, or Baker and somewhere else, and they drafted Chubb that year. So you think about the talent Russell Wilson would have had. They had Landry. I don't think they didn't get Odell till the next year. I think you have Landry, you have Njoku, you have a somewhat shaky offensive line, but you had a solid defense, almost like the Legion Boom type of thing.
It would have been Russell Wilson would have been playing just like he's playing in Seattle now. No offensive line, running for your life.
And just think, it's not raining in Ohio like it is in Seattle. It's not as cold.
A lot of history in Cleveland. Dog pound.
That would have been sick. That would have been amazing. And then who do you think Seattle takes? They take Baker, they take Sam Darnold. That would have shook the whole NFL draft up right there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I don't think as a fan I've ever seen a prime quarterback in his elite prime get traded like that. And then another crazy stat that came out, which has been all over Twitter from Pro Football Focus, Russell Wilson has never had one MVP vote.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't. How is that?
Even Super Bowl year, why didn't he?
What I don't understand is you think about last year, where everyone said he's in the MVP votings. So you're telling me no one voted for him?
Yeah, that's a weird stat.
Why? I wonder if like people vote to see what they think is gonna win, but when it officially goes into it, people vote.
I wonder how many votes there are total.
Well, there's a list here that shows you like so Peyton Manning, for instance, has gotten 68 votes overall for MVPs. I'm gonna read you people who at least have 2 or 1 that or above Russell Wilson. Apparently,
Romo?
Tony Romo has 2.
Oh, yeah.
DeMarco Murray has 2. Carson Wentz has 2. Dak Prescott has 1. Bobby Wagner has 1, and Carson Palmer has 1. Just so you know, Drew Brees has 9. Now Russell Wilson, 6 Pro Bowls. Okay, second highest passer rate in league history, 100 touchdowns, only 23 picks, and he's got a Super Bowl ring, almost 2. And you're telling me this guy, who never has much help,
And I believe right now is the highest paid quarterback in football. Or it's either him or Goff. I think it's Russell Wilson.
how does that not get an MVP vote?
That's what
Oh,
I'm
so
saying.
apparently, to these stats, DeMarco Murray and Derek Carr have played at an MVP level more frequently than Wilson has.
That's nuts.
Don't get me wrong, Derek Carr, that one year that he made the playoffs where he got injured, MVP year. Don't get me wrong. But you're telling me the past 6 years, Russell Wilson gets to the playoffs almost every year. He always works his magic, looks like a ballerina out there. Doesn't get one MVP vote. Like, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. That's gotta be fake. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how many votes there are a year. Like Baseball Hall of Fame, there's only so many votes. The writers get votes. So I don't know how many votes there are, how many people vote for the MVP, but that is weird that he's never gotten one.
No, I don't get that.
But speaking of football, the top selling jerseys since the NFL draft. Tua is number 1 with his aqua jersey.
I think he's taking number 3, right?
Tua is number 2 with his white jersey.
Wait. So 2 is 1 and 2?
1 and 2. Tom Brady is number 3, 4, 5, and 6
Wow.
with his Bucks pewter vapor jersey.
What do you
His
think? They got new
Bucks white
jerseys.
jersey, his Bucks red jersey, and his Bucks red vapor jersey.
Oh, let's be real. If Tom Brady came over to Dallas, wouldn't you buy a Tom Brady jersey?
Yeah. And Joe Burrow is number 11.
What was number 8?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't write that down.
No. That wasn't important to
So
me.
you write 6 and 7, but you don't
Yeah,
write 8. I mean,
yeah,
you
like
write
that.
6 and you wrote 7 and 9.
CeeDee Lamb, he was number 14. Jerry Jeudy was number 18.
I wonder what Drew Brees was.
Last. It's probably he's probably up there because it's his retirement jersey. But quick baseball note: the owners came up with a plan.
They're having financial problems, aren't they, with that?
The owners want to play an 82 game season.
With a DH, universal DH.
Universal DH. They want to split the revenue 50-50, and that's going to be the stick. Training start in June. The season start July 4th. Expanded rosters from 25 to 30. 50-50 revenue split. Players aren't going to accept that, which is dumb. Mark Teixeira came out and said they should.
They should, because there's no way that the teams are going to make revenue to pay these guys this year.
The owners agreed on this. Now it's going to get thrown to the Players Association. They're going to have to vote on it. I guess Tim Clark, whatever his name is.
I think
Dwight Clark,
MLB
something
should
like-
look at what states have the lowest coronavirus. Put teams up, right? They go there. Every day the players are tested. No minor league games this year.
What are they
All
gonna-
pro.
they're
They
gonna have
never
3
travel.
divisions.
They never travel. Like,
Well, they're going to have 3 divisions. It's going to be set up in probably 3 parts of the country.
Yeah.
The East, the Central, the
The
West.
West.
So if they do that, you're going to have the Yankees, the Mets, Boston,
awesome. That's
the
cool.
Phillies, Atlanta, probably the Marlins.
That's cool.
The Braves, the Rays, all in one division.
that's awesome. Now I wonder if if the World Series will do all 3 of them.
They're supposed to expand it to 14 teams, so I don't know how it's going to work out.
I think America needs baseball, but I honestly right now could watch baseball without fans.
See, I didn't realize this was more about money than anything. I thought it was about the coronavirus, the whole 9 yards. And when they were talking about the 100 games and playing in Texas,
Well, you
Florida,
gotta
and
think money is a
Arizona.
huge part of this because you have minor leaguers who need to get paid. The pros, you think about their big contracts. If you're not making revenue,
That's the thing. I didn't even realize that. These organizations, they pay all their minor leaguers. I didn't realize that.
who do you think pays them?
I thought they just got paid off of their sales of the stadiums and all that stuff. Like,
Well, doesn't all that sales go into the owners anyway?
yeah, but this is confusing.
Yeah,
but
it is. There's some big knowledge up there.
But I didn't realize that I guess baseball players already took a pay cut, and now they would have to take another pay cut because they're not going to. But the thing is 50-50 split is pretty damn good compared to nothing if they don't play.
I think if you took a vote right now for the MLB players and you pro, would you play an MLB season?
Most
right
players
now?
are saying no, they don't want to play right now.
I think
That's why Mark Teixeira came out and said these players are absolutely foolish.
If I was a baseball player,
they need to accept this under the circumstances. You have people losing their jobs, people who are out of work, and you guys are going to be fighting over pennies, basically. You're still getting a salary in the millions.
If I'm a baseball player, and obviously you get some money guaranteed, whatever, but if I have I guess like if you're a pro, you're still worried about the coronavirus. But if I'm a professional baseball player, I want to play the game, right? And if the MLB comes to me and says, listen, we need to split everyone's salary in half. So say you make $10 million a year. Oh, I'm going to make $5 million? Let's do it.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Like,
you think $5 million is a lot
if
of
you
money?
say no to this, the owners can come back and say, okay, we're not doing baseball this year. Now you're not getting none. And guess what? Players like Mookie Betts are going to be a free agent who's going to lose out on 20+ million this year. He's going to lose out on everything, be a free agent again. Players that are like a Gardner is going to lose out on this year's salary and a whole year of playing.
Yeah.
If you can't live on a few million, then that's a you problem.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say no, I'm not going to play because you're screwing me out of a couple dollars, that's bad business, especially what everyone's going through.
If I was a pro,
I can understand if it was concerns about health.
Yeah.
Getting the coronavirus.
Or
the
another
whole
thing
nine
though
yards.
too is if you have these young guys who are maybe only making $500,000, and that gets cut in half. That's I could see that. Like, listen, like that's not enough for me. Like, but like if these guys are making $20 million a year, and you're only gonna make $10 million this year. $10 million is still a lot of money.
Yeah, but NASCAR's actually firing up this weekend. They're going to be in
I
Darlington.
feel like that could be easy. Test them every race, and then no fans.
NASCAR, you just got to work with the pit crew and the officials and stuff like that. There's no fans.
Yeah, that's easy.
I'm
happy that we're finding resolutions to this because, like,
Dr. Fauci though did come out and say that he can't see football starting yet because if
just too many people.
Say if you're a carrier and you touch your nose and then touch your jersey and a defensive player comes up and touches your jersey, now he gets it on his hands,
and
he
sweat.
touches his face, and then it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Now he is saying that he doesn't think you can get it from just sweating. But if you like touch your nose and you're carrying it,
but think about the time you touch your face as an athlete.
Yeah.
Especially with towels, you wipe your towels
touch
off.
your nose, now you're your center, you touch the
spit,
football, now you snap the
spit on
ball
your
to the
hands.
quarterback. The quarterback licks his fingers.
Yeah, with Drew Brees, every play licks his fingers.
Yeah, so football, I mean, that's what I'm so worried about. Football, basketball.
Well, the minor league system of hockey got canceled. I don't think there's going to be a professional hockey this year.
I heard they're talking about doing no fans. They're talking about doing a 24-team tournament, like a bracket.
And then Charles Barkley and Shaq and Mark Cuban, they think it's stupid to do like a March Madness thing. They said that this is too dangerous, that they should just shut down this year.
But what they should do is they should find like the playoff. I mean, they were almost done with the season. There's only like 20-some games left anyway, I believe. So what they should do is take the top 4 teams from each division, take them down to freaking Disney World or take them out to Disneyland, make a court. You can keep them all confined in all the hotels at these resorts and stuff. Play the playoffs. They're not traveling anywhere. They're staying in one location. You could do it. We talked about the cruise ship. Put them all on a cruise ship.
I would want to play. I mean, you've seen people play on aircraft carriers.
Yeah, you could do it. You just got to keep them confined to one area where there's no traveling. You can have their families come and everything. Have some sort of a crowd. But hockey, you can do it too. But the thing is you got to go right. You have to go right to the playoffs. You can't. You don't have time for another.
You don't have time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think hockey off season starts soon. Like
college,
as of
college sports, I think they're done. I think college football is done because if you can't open up the schools, you can't open up the football.
And I'm just starting to understand too. You think about like kids that were on the fence of getting drafted or not getting drafted. Like if they don't have a year of football, XFL would be perfect for them.
I said,
yeah.
If I was a billionaire and I had the means and the funds to do it, I mean Vince McMahon should think about coming back.
Because you think about
you're gonna get a lot of players.
Say I was a receiver and like I had maybe one team right now look at me. So like I have a really good chance of not getting drafted. But if I would have played one more year, like I might have got drafted in later rounds or even undrafted signed agent. But now that season might get canceled, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna go in the XFL.
You tell me, like a player like a Trevor Lawrence. We talked about this before. says, hey, college football is not playing.
I don't think he needs a year to get. I think he could easily go in the draft right now.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of guys, a lot of quarterbacks that are in college that could say, you know what, I'm going to skip my last year of college, go to the XFL, play for $100,000, and still have a chance to get drafted. That's why I think the XFL should come back, because it's a perfect opportunity. Sure, it sucked in the beginning. It took away everything from them. But if you look at the big picture down the road, an XFL would be a great launching point for some of these college players. And some of these guys, like the 7th round picks, 6th round picks of these NFL teams, they're not going to get camps. There's no rookie camps. Can't look at them. They're going to get cut. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
That's all the sports we got today. I love this new mixer.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this, and we hope you're staying safe in this crazy quarantine times.
Yeah, everyone stay safe. You know, not much we can do, but hope for the best. Faith over fear.
Again, this will be up on all our platforms. You can check all our platforms to see pictures, our updates, and our notifications. We hope you guys stay safe, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.